Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha. And today, we'll talk about post-workout protein. All right, this is a topic that people still ask about. Should be a dead topic in 2021, but it still comes up over and over and over. And that topic is, do we need a protein shake? Do we need protein? Do we need whatever immediately post-workout? And because for so long in the fitness industry itself, it was heavily pushed that we needed these things, that people still think that we do. And then they'll even say that, well, it makes common sense. Your muscles are trying to recover immediately after training. That's when you need to get food in. But you have to look at them and go, you're already getting food in. Also, your muscle growth and recovery is sometimes a multi-day process anyways. And you can argue all that you want of, well, I'm just trying to optimize it. But at this point, the data shows that optimizing it doesn't require you to do anything special immediately post-workout. All right, it's just not required. Now, we'll come over to the question that people will have. But we have all these studies. We have all these studies saying we need post-workout recovery, that there are benefits to it. But you have to look closer at what those studies say. And it's the perfect example. I have a young client, relatively new lifter, watched a bunch of my old videos, and he, again, doesn't know what he's doesn't always know the context for these things. And so he took something out of context, and he'd been drinking chocolate milk every day. I asked him why, and he's like, well, because you made a video saying that there had been a study that compared chocolate milk with protein shakes, and chocolate milk actually produced more muscle protein synthesis when used post-workout. So I've just been drinking it all the time. Now, you guys see the problem with this? He's basically eating junk food all day, because there was a study that showed it had better post-workout muscle protein synthesis. The problem is that muscle protein synthesis doesn't work. I made that video to explain to people why the protein shakes even are silly, that there are regular foods you can buy in the grocery store that trump supplements in terms of the same roles that you're taking them for. And that generally speaking, food should be preferable to supplements. Usually should be preferable to supplements. All right, we use supplements as needed. They're usually not the best choice if food is available. They can do the exact same job. So we come over to the question of why does it not matter? Because people who don't train fasted don't get any benefits from this. Just like the original protein supplement studies, these comparisons were done on people who trained fasted. They trained fasted. Well, most of us are not training fasted. Now, granted, intermittent fasting has become a big deal, so there are people out there training fasted, but I can also tell you people who are training fasted are not optimizing their muscle growth. That's its own separate topic. But let's look at what all those original studies said, and this is why you had plenty of people from the evidence-based world, like my friend Alan Aragon. We've been friends for, over a decade. And yes, he will admit to that. Or anyway, he says he would. Yeah, he says it all the time. Conversation on social media. So, Alan was one of the people who put out a lot of information on that many years ago saying, look, these studies are on people who are fasted. Because if we need to control something, if you're doing clinical trials or trials on human studies, you need to have controls in place. And so a lot of blood work and stuff done, a lot of testing done in general on people, even for medical reasons, is done on people who are fasted. If you go get your blood work done in the morning at your doctor's office, they usually want you fasted the night before. Right? They don't want you to have eaten anything after whatever time at night. Nothing with any calories. Water. Just water. And you come in fasted, then you can eat after your blood work. That's how they do it. So that's how they did these studies, because they can't control what people were eating for breakfast. They don't have perfect controls in place. The easiest way was just people have people come in fasted, have them work out, and then test stuff for muscle protein synthesis. And in that case, yes, we found fast absorbing protein shakes with dextrose and things like that in them produced more muscle protein synthesis post workout. But it's because they needed this immediate nutrition because they are fasted already. When the same stuff is looked at for people who ate carbs and protein in the morning before they trained, these benefits go away. In other words, what we found is that if someone eats a normal meal a couple hours after they work out, it produces the same net muscle protein synthesis response as the person who took the protein shake. There's no benefit. No benefit. And people say, but it's in faster. But it doesn't matter that it's in faster, because if you ate breakfast, you're breaking that down all day long. You already have an influx of glucose and amino acids from the meal you ate that morning. In fact, you still have a lot of that from the meal you ate at night. If you ate protein at 8 o'clock at night and you get up and train at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you're still absorbing protein from that meal in the evening. And then if you had breakfast first on top of it, again, you've got even more coming back in. You're already getting those things. And you can only use so much protein per hour or day, minute, anything like that towards building muscle. You use very, very little protein towards actually building muscle. Even the protein recommendations that we make are usually about recovery and muscle protein synthesis, not actually building muscle itself. You're not going to use a full gram of protein per day as new muscle tissue. You're not going to add that much to your body every day in terms of muscle. It's a general rule. Maybe, if you're a novice, you might use a couple. But you come over to that point of it's not required to immediately get 30 grams of protein in because your body needs it immediately to repair and build muscle. The foods you've already eaten are supplied that. If your protein intake for the day is sufficient and you're hitting your numbers, which usually I recommend 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. If you're hitting those numbers over several meals through the day, you're already covered. You already have all your bases covered. There's no benefit. Is there an anabolic window post-workout to where you do need to get carbs and protein in? Yeah, but you can get it from a meal, and that window seems to be up to about 6 to 8 hours long. In other words, you can work out, have no food immediately work after working out, as long as you ate something beforehand and you're getting enough protein through the day. You can go eat a meal 5 hours later, a regular meal, and it will produce the desired response. There's no benefit to the immediate post-workout unless you were training fasted. But here's the thing. You're still at a disadvantage from training fasted. The fast protein immediately after offsets some of the damage. It's still never going to be optimal. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.